Kamaru Usman's comments claiming that he's nothing special in the cage. Usman, who lost to Chimaev via majority decision last October at UFC 294, expressed his thoughts on the P4P podcast with Henry Cejudo. Usman described his experience in the fight, stating that while Chimaev was physically imposing, he didn't find anything particularly special or different about him compared to other opponents he's faced. He admitted to doubting himself during the fight, but later realized that he shouldn't have. In response to Usman's remarks, Chimaev took to social media advising Usman not to talk too much given his loss. Chimaev seemed surprised that some fighters take pride in their losses, emphasizing the irony of Usman's commentary. As for their next opponents or return dates, neither Chimaev nor Usman have any official announcements. However, their exchange has undoubtedly stirred up interest among fans, sparking speculation about potential matchups for both fighters. It's clear that opinions differ on Usman's assessment of Chimaev's skills. Some may agree with Usman's view that Chimaev is not as exceptional as hyped, while others may see Chimaev's undefeated record and dominant performances as evidence of his special talent. As for future opponents, matchups with other top contenders in their respective divisions could offer intriguing challenges for both fighters. UFC lightweight contender Arman Tsarukyan expressed his belief that champion Islam Makhachev is avoiding a rematch with him. Tsarukyan, who faced Makhachev in 2019, feels that Makhachev sees him as a more dangerous opponent than Dustin Poirier, hence the champion's interest in fighting Poirier. Instead, Tsarukyan made these remarks in an interview with Morning Combat's Brian Campbell, emphasizing that he believes Makhachev wants to steer clear of facing him again. Despite this perceived reluctance from Makhachev, Tsarukyan remains focused on his upcoming bout against former champion Charles Oliveira at UFC 300. While Tsarukyan acknowledges the speculation about Makhachev potentially facing Poirier, he remains emphasizing that his immediate priority is his fight against Allah. Following his matchup with Alizarin, is open to revisiting discussions about a rematch with Makhachev. He said this: "I feel like Islam wants to avoid us. He feels like I'm going to win, and for him it's better to fight Poirier than me because I am more dangerous for him. I know wrestling. And I mean, maybe he can make more money with Dustin, probably because of that he's interested." The lightweight division is currently filled with contenders, with UFC 300 featuring another high-profile lightweight bout between Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway. With the division brimming with talent, Tsarukyan remains confident in his abilities and is prepared to face any challenge that comes his way that could have gone wrong. Tom Aspin and Jon Jones have been in an exchange via social media for many weeks now, with Aspin trying to get a fight against him. Jones, however, received a lot of criticism when he said that Aspin has to earn it to fight him and that he has no interest. After much criticism, Jon Jones decided to back down from his opinion and said that they might meet in the Octagon, but that his current priority remains Steve McNow. Aspin and Jones have met face-to-face. Aspin visited Jones at a public appearance and stood across from him. They exchanged few words, but they were understandable. Aspin then put his right hand on Jones' shoulder. It didn't take a second for Jones to throw his hand down. Aspin noticed that Jones was ready for anything and explained with his gestures and words that he had no bad intentions. They then talked for a few seconds before Aspin left and said outside of the arena that he wasn't impressed by Jones' size at all. UFC flyweight champion Alexander is set to defend his title against rising contenders Steve Ig and May Panya. Nicknamed the Cannibal, has already established himself as one of the top fighters in the division, having defeated many of the top contenders multiple times, including Brandon Moreno and Brandon Rill. However, seeking fresh challenges, Panya expressed his desire for new competition following recent matchups in the flyweight division. The UFC decided to shake things up by granting Ig the title shot instead of the expected contender. The fight announcement was made on social media, confirming that Panya and Ig will face off at UFC 31 on May 4th in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. This opportunity comes relatively early in Ig's UFC career, as he debuted less than a year ago with a win over David Ferreck. Since then, Ig has continued to impress with victories over Alessandro Costa and Matt Schnell. The matchup promises to be an exciting addition to the flyweight division, injecting new energy into the title scene, with Panya facing a determined and hungry challenger in Ig. Tyson Pedro's retirement from MMA was short-lived, as he has now announced his return to combat sports, this time as a professional boxer. Just weeks after announcing his retirement, Pedro has signed with Danny Green, the founder of Green Machine Promotions, to pursue a career in boxing. Pedro cited his desire to spend more time with his family as a major factor in his decision to retire from MMA. However, his passion for combat sports seems to have reignited, leading him to transition to boxing. Despite his recent retirement from MMA, Pedro expressed excitement about his upcoming venture into boxing. He emphasized his intention to take on challenging opponents and contribute to the sport by organizing quality events and providing opportunities for young fighter's Pedro is expected to debut in the newly established Bridgerweight division, although the exact timing of his debut has not been announced. Green has expressed confidence in Pedro's potential, believing that he has what it takes to become a world champion in boxing. In his MMA career, Pedro achieved a record of 10-5 with a UFC record of 6-5. Now, he embarks on a new chapter in his combat sports journey as he transitions to the world of professional boxing. Marvin Vettori expressed his disappointment after being forced out of his scheduled main event matchup at UFC Vegas 89 due to what he described as a freak accident. He emphasized that it was the first time he had to withdraw from a fight in his career. Despite the setback, Vettori turned his attention to his intended opponent, Brandon Allen. In an Instagram video, Vettori addressed Allen directly, indicating that he would not let Allen hide from him anymore. Vettori expressed frustration with what he perceived as Allen's behavior online versus in person, accusing him of being quiet and friendly in person but aggressive online. Vettori reminded Allen of a previous interaction where he confronted him about being knocked out twice by other fighters. He said this: "It's on the shot. You're going to have to beg me for another shot. I don't give a faff about fighting you. I'm doing you a favor. I'll smash your face just because you look funny to me. That's it. I will see you soon." Vettori made it clear that he still wants to fight Allen despite his recent loss to Jared Kaner. He asserted himself as the aside in the potential matchup and suggested that Allen would need to plead for another opportunity to face him. Vettori ended his message by stating that he would smash Allen's face simply because he finds him funny looking. Overall, Vettori's message to Allen conveyed his determination to fight him in the future, despite the circumstances surrounding their initial matchup falling through. Georgie and Nate Diaz are slated to face each other once again, but this time in a 10-round boxing match scheduled for June 1st at the Kita Forum in California. This rematch comes after their initial encounter in MMA at UFC 244 in November 2019. Their first fight ended in a somewhat anticlimactic manner, with a doctor stopped the bout before the fourth round due to a cut above Diaz's eye, leading to some debate about the fight's trajectory. Gamebred, who was dominant in the early rounds of their first encounter, aims to leave no doubts this time around. He expressed his determination to put an end to any debate about the referee's decision to stop the fight, stating that he wants to end Diaz in the rematch. Georgia emphasized that it's not personal, but that he wants to decisively defeat Diaz to silence any claims that the referee saved him during their first bout. He said this: "It's nothing personal with him, but I want to beat the brakes off him. He always said that the referee saved me. I don't think anybody with common sense would agree, so I think this fight right here puts an end to all that bullshit." Gamebred view a clear victory in the upcoming rematch will settle any lingering controversy from their previous fight, ensuring there is no doubt about who the better fighter is.